Hi, I'm Ms. Fung. Today I want to talk to you about Riftbound. If you're a heavy TCG player, please leave. This video is a quick guide for those like me who haven't really played other card games but quickly want to learn a 1v1 game most efficiently without having to suffer through a tutorial full of words that I don't understand. Now, Riftbound is a League of Legends card game. You will be playing against an opponent, so there'll be 2 play areas. In each play area, there'll be this zone here where you will place this battlefield. There are 2 zones, so there will be 2 battlefields to contest. You control fields to score points. You do this by using units, gears, spells, and runes. In the battlefield zone, you'll move runes into the zone like so with cards, and your opponent can also do the same. Now, whoever remains there and it is the strongest will score a point. When you do that, this is called conquering. You can conquer in 2 ways. You can conquer by having a combat showdown, like so, where you combat by having your units and their units, or you can have an open showdown where you enter into an empty battlefield and you don't have a combat. Either way, you gain a point. Another way to gain a point is if they have their turn and then at the start of your turn, you're still in control of the zone, as in they did not kick you out. If you're there still, it's called holding, and this control gives you another point. Down here, you'll have the rune zone. It is where you put a deck of runes into this corner here, and you will channel these runes out. This is like the currency of the game. This is what you're going to use to pay for everything. Over here in this corner, you'll have your main deck. It comprises of your units, your fighters on the field that you've seen before, gears to upgrade and empower units, and spells, instant and surprise effects. Now, you'll be picking up cards into your hand, and then once you pay for them, you'll put them into your base. To pay for cards, let's look at the cards cost. Here we have a couple of cards. The number in the symbol is energy cost, and any colored symbol is called a power cost. Let's have a look at how we pay for the energy. Here we have a unit that costs 2 energy. To pay for the energy, you have to exhaust runes. Here we have the runes. To exhaust it is to put them to the side. Once you've done that, you can place this unit exhausted into your base. Units come to the base exhausted. Power. Let's have a look at the other card. Here we have 1 energy cost and 1 power cost. To pay for the energy, you exhaust the rune, and to pay for the power, you will take this rune card and you will recycle. Recycle means to take the card and put it at the bottom of your rune deck. Once you do that, you use the spell action, and then you'll place it into your trash, which is this corner over here, face up. A turn comprises of starting a turn, ABCD, and main phase. ABCD is there for you to remember the steps. A is awaken, so straightening up all your cards like so. B is a phase where it says beginning, so some cards will say in the beginning phase, so this moment here, do something something. So you'll have to read the cards. C is to channel runes from your rune deck out, so you always channel 2 runes. And D is to draw. You draw a card from the main pile and put it into your hand. In the main phase, you can play units, attach gears, and cast spells. You do so by paying for the cards like before. You then can also move units. If you have a unit ready in your base like so, you can exhaust it, that's the cost of moving a unit, and move it into the battlefield zone. You then initiate showdowns to contest control. In these 2 corners, you'll find here your legend. So this is the theme of your deck. Her character is called Jinx, and over here you will have your champion. This is a unit that's already on the board, ready for you to pay it into the base, so you don't have to pick it up randomly from the draw pile and look for it. Now, you might have noticed that the Jinx card was made out of red and purple. There are 6 of these colors in total, so each character has 2 of these. You saw that Jinx was red and purple, and it gives the deck a style of play. So red is fury and purple is chaos, so it's a very aggressive character. It wants to attack really quickly, but their units are not as strong. There's other characters that are stronger, but they're calm, which means that it will take them a little bit longer to take their units out, but all those units will be much larger. So depending on the domain of your character, you have to figure out your strategy to win. Let's play through the start of a couple of turns. The first player will pick up 4 cards from the main deck. You can look at your cards and then decide that you can mulligan up to 2 cards. That means you can take 1 or 2 cards and put it at the bottom of your main deck, like so, and then pick up 1 or 2 cards from the top to replace them. So you can change your mind up to 2 cards. Then you will channel 2 runes into your rune zone, and if you can pay for any of your cards, if you have 2 cards, you may pay for it now and play out your turn. The second player gets to channel 3 runes in the first turn. This is because they're disadvantaged for going second. Now I have a card here that costs 2, so I will exhaust these 2 runes and pay for my unit and place it into the base exhausted. Then it's my opponent's turn, but because they're playing a deck that has very expensive cards, they can't place anything down, so they only channel those 3 runes. Then it's my turn again. At first, I will awaken all my cards by straightening them up. Then B, I will look at any beginning condition. Here we have at the start of your beginning phase, draw 1 if you have 1 or fewer cards in your hand. Right now I have 3, so I do not draw a card, but if I had less than 3, I will go to my pile and pick up an extra card. That was B. Then C, I will channel 2 more runes, and then D, I will pick up a card from the draw pile and add it to my hand. So A, B, C, D. Then I go into my main phase. Now there's cards in my hand that I can play, but I can also move this unit over here. To move this unit, I will exhaust it, put it to the side, and then I get to decide whether I want to move it here or to the other battlefield. So let's say I move it to this battlefield over there. Now my opponent is not there, so it's an open showdown, and I conquered that battlefield, so I will get a point. Then my opponent will have their turn. Let's say they put a couple things in their base or they don't. As long as they don't get into this battlefield zone and they don't kick me out, at the start of my turn, because I'm holding this battlefield, I will get a point for holding. Let's move forward into the game, and let's say that we had a couple of units in this battlefield over here. What would a combat showdown look like? Let's have a look at the cards a bit more closely. Let's say they had a unit in the battlefield and we moved our 2 units into the battlefield and we're attacking. Now the first card here has a 5 with a symbol on the top right. This is the might. It is the life and the attack strength. The other card is interesting. It has 2 might, but if you read here, it says when I'm an attacker, add 2 mights. In other words, it has 2 plus 2 might, so 4 because we are attacking. Our opponent had a card that said 6 might. However, if you read here, it says plus 1 while I'm a defender. In other words, it's a 7. So we have 5 and 4, they have 7. We decide where we want to put our attack strength. So our 9 total attack strength, we're going to put it all into this unit. So it will definitely lose all of its 7 might and die. They can decide where they want to put their attack strength. Let's say they put it into this 5 because there's 7. So 5 and the 7 means that that is completely gone and there's an extra 2. But remember, this card is now 4. So only losing 2 will mean that this will still be on 2. So this will stay. So that dies, they go on top of your trash pile and this remains. That means we have conquered the battlefield and we gain a point. There are a couple more cards I want to show you so you're ready to play. Here we have Seal of Rage. It comes in different colors. This one is red, so it costs 0 energy but 1 power. So for the 1 power, you'll take this card and place it at the bottom of your deck like so. And then once you've paid for it, because it's not a unit, it comes into your base upright, so you can use it straight away. How you use the Seal of Rage is you exhaust it, and that will pay for 1 power. In other words, you now have a power that you can use over and over again. How you use it is to exhaust it, and that gives you 1 power. That means you now have a power that you can use over and over again. Let's say you continue playing, you keep scoring points all the way to 7. The last point, however, your 8th point, is a little bit different. There's a special condition. To gain the last point, you either have to gain it from holding and you win, or you have to, on your turn, conquer both battlefields. If you only conquer one battlefield, unfortunately that last 8 point, you will not gain that point. You will only draw a card from the main deck and add it to your hand. So that last 8 point is a little bit tricky. Finally, spells. Here we have one that says give a unit +2 this turn, draw 1. That means one of your units on your battlefield, you upgrade its might by 2, and then you pick up a card from your draw pile into your hand. This spell over here costs 1 energy and 1 power, and it says counter a spell that costs no more than 4 energy and no more than 1 power. This rainbow symbol represents power of any color. And that's pretty much how you get started to play Riftbound. I had lots of fun trying different decks and trying out different strategies. I hope you do too. If you do play Riftbound, please leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!